Hello everyone. So starting with biomolecule, it is an important chapter of class 12 organic chemistry. It carries a lot of marks. Okay. So biomolecule is a part of your biochemistry. Okay. What is biochemistry? Biochemistry is a study of what happens in a living system. Right. Okay. So biomolecule is a part of biochemistry, which is a study of what happens within a living system. Okay, so biochemistry is divided into your two parts. One is bio organic and another one is bio inorganic. Right? We will not talk about this bio inorganic portion, so we are putting a cross because bio inorganic portion is not a part of our syllabus. Okay, under bio organic we have the chapter biomolecule. Under biomolecule we have mainly four parts. Okay, so let's divide. Under biomolecule we have your carbohydrates. I hope it's visible. Yes. Okay, after carbohydrates then we have your protein. Okay, after protein we have important portion which is nucleic acid. Okay, after this we have a section which we put under others. Okay, under this others category we have your vitamins, enzyme and hormone. Okay, let's make a bit prominent this one. So this is others. Okay, under others we have hormones, vitamin and your enzyme. Right, so this was the introduction. Now we will move to the important portion which is your carbohydrate. Okay, after that we will move to protein and then nucleic acid and then we will end the chapter with vitamins, hormones and enzymes. Right, so let's get some basics about carbohydrate. Okay, so what is carbohydrate after all? In the ancient days it was believed that carbohydrates are nothing but they are hydrates of carbon. Okay, so let's write here. I hope it's visible. Carbohydrate. Okay, let's make it a bit smaller. Okay, okay, so I have my carbohydrate here written. So in the ancient days it was believed that carbohydrates are nothing but they are just hydrates of carbon. Okay, hydrates of carbon having formula, or you can say something which is satisfying the formula, which is CnH2O whole Y. Okay, just a second. Right, so in the ancient days, I'm writing here old. In the ancient days it was believed that carbohydrates are nothing but they are hydrates of carbon having the formula CnH2O whole Y. Right, so let's take some example of this. I take the example of your glucose, which is C6H12O6. So glucose, we know glucose is a carbohydrate, right? So I am going to represent this glucose in this form. Okay, C6H2 This is 2. 6 H12. Okay. So it will be C6H2O, and this is whole 6. See, I have just represented these carbohydrates in this form. This both the forms are same. Okay. So that means carbohydrates are satisfying the formula CnH2 whole Y, right? But here, if we take the example of your acetic acid, which is CH3 COOH, okay, and we represent this in this form, we get C2H2O, and here will be 2, whole 2. Now see, this form and this form is quite similar, but this is not a carboxylic acid. This is not a carboxylic acid. This is this is not a carbohydrate. This is a acid, right? So that means acetic acid is showing this formula, but it is not a carbohydrate. That means there is something, some flaws in this definition of carbohydrate, which says that carbohydrates are just hydrates of carbon having formula this. That means this definition is not correct, right? So the modern definition, I am coming to the modern definition of carbohydrates, which says that carbohydrates are nothing but they are optically active. Okay, they are optically active. Active means they show optical activity. That means when plane of polarized light is passed through these compounds, they have the ability to deflect the light rays into different direction depending upon their properties, right? So I come to the modern definition of carbohydrate. Okay, so modern definition says that they are optically active. They are optically active polyhydroxy aldehyde. We know what is an aldehyde, and aldehyde has CHO group, okay, or ketone, or any compound which produce this on hydrolysis, right? So what does this mean? The modern definition says that carbohydrates are nothing but they are optically active. Optically active, I have already mentioned, that means they show optical activity, okay. Polyhydroxy means there are many hydroxyl group, which is OH group, okay, right. Aldehyde or ketone. In glucose, we know glucose is it's an aldehyde form, right? Glucose has CHO, right? This group is present in glucose, right? Or ketone, if we consider fructose, which is the fruit sugar, okay, ketone has this thing, C double bond, which is a ketone functional group, right? So they are optically active polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone or any other compounds, means derivative of aldehyde or ketone which produces this on hydrolysis. Now derivative of your aldehyde and ketone will always produce aldehyde or ketone on hydrolysis, right, which is the simpler form, okay. So this was about the modern definition of your carbohydrates. So what did I say up to now? I started with biomolecules. I have said that biomolecules is a part of your biochemistry. Biochemistry is a subject which deals with what is happening inside the living organisms. Under the biochemistry, we have two parts. One is bioorganic and another one is bioinorganic. Okay, we will not discuss about the bioinorganic because it is not included in our syllabus. Under the bioorganic portion, we have our chapter which is biomolecule. Okay, under biomolecule we mainly study four things, okay. Under the four things, the first which comes is the carbohydrates. After carbohydrates we have protein. After protein we have nucleic acid. followed by the others category, under which we have vitamins, we have your hormones, and we also have your enzymes. Okay, this was about the classification of the subject and the insights of the chapter. After that, I discussed about what is carbohydrate. I told you about the ancient or the classic definition of carbohydrate, where it was told that carbohydrates are nothing but they are hydrates of carbon which satisfy the general formula CxH2O whole y, where x and y are any integer. Okay, but glucose and fructose were satisfying this formula because they are carbohydrates. But when we take the example of acetic acid, which is CH3COOH, on representing it in the hydrate form, means the CxH2O whole y form, which I have mentioned just now, we get that acetic acid is coming out to be C2H2O whole 2. That means acetic acid is satisfying the formula of carbohydrate, but acetic acid is not a carbohydrate, right? So that means there is some flaw in the ancient definition. So after doing multiple researches, the scientists came up with the modern definition of carbohydrates, which says carbohydrates are nothing but they are optically active polyhydroxy aldehyde or ketone or any compound which produce this on hydrolysis. Optically active means they have the ability to rotate the plane of polarized light in different direction depending upon their properties. Polyhydroxy means there are many OH groups present. Aldehyde means CHO group or ketone. I have already explained you that ketone is C double bonded O, or any compound which produce this on hydrolysis. That means the derivative of aldehyde or ketone. Okay. Next I will come to the classification of carbohydrate. Okay. So let's clear out this portion. Now we can classify carbohydrates onto various categories into 5 categories, namely the first is the on the basis of, I am writing here, I hope I am visible, yes, the first category which comes is the on the basis of functional group. Okay, under functional group we have polyhydroxyaldehyde and polyhydroxy ketone. And another one is your polyhydroxy ketone. Now the example of polyhydroxyaldehyde is your glucose, right? I have mentioned just now. And another one is your fructose, which is the fruit sugar, which consists of the ketone form. Okay. Now the next classification comes on the basis of your capability to reduce. Okay, so I am writing here reducing ability, reducing okay. Under this we have two categories, which is reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. Reducing and non-reducing. Right, under reducing we have the example of your sucrose, which is an example of non-reducing sugar. Example, sucrose. Right, under non-reducing we have various, like we have lactose, we have maltose. Okay, and this way. Now how to find out which is reducing sugar, which is non-reducing sugar, I will tell you after after passing on few minutes, or in the next lecture I will tell you how to find out whether a structure is reducing or it is non-reducing. Till then you have to remember this mechanically about lactose and maltose are non-reducing, and your reducing sugar is sucrose. Okay. Now another category of classification which comes is on the basis of sweetness. Okay. Some sugars are sweetness, right? So under sweetness we have sugar, and another one is non-sugar. I'm writing non as S as N, and here's sugar. I have space problem to accommodate. I hope I am not visible, right? Okay. So under sweetness we have sugar and non-sugar. Under the sugar we have the example of your glucose, which is sweet, right? So if you remember that sugar means saccharide, right? So saccharide comes from the Latin words which is saccharum, which means sweetness, right? After this we come to another unit of classification, which is on the basis of number of carbon present, right? On the basis of number of carbon. Okay. Under this, if 3 carbon is present, it is triose. If 4, then tetrose. Okay. If 5, then pentose. If 6, then hexose, and like this, so on. Okay. If the carbohydrate is having 4 carbons and it has an aldehyde group, then it is called aldopentose. Why pentose? Since the aldehyde group also has a CHO, so while counting the carbon you have to take it pentose. My original carbohydrate was having 4 carbon, okay, but there is already an aldehyde, right, which is the CHO group. We have to count that also when we have to count the number of carbons. So total there is 5 carbon, right? So if a carbohydrate has 4 carbon and a CHO, then it is called aldopentose, because CHO means aldehyde. From aldehyde it is aldopentose. Okay. And so if a carbohydrate has 5 carbon and a keto group, it is called ketohexose, right? So this was the easy thing. Now on the next unit of classification which comes is number 5, on the basis of number of product on hydrolysis. Okay, so I have to clear it out. Next portion is number 5 of unit of classification, which is number of product on hydrolysis. Okay. Now on the basis of number of product on hydrolysis, carbohydrates are classified into monosaccharide, okay, another one is oligosaccharide, and the last one is polysaccharide. Okay. Now monosaccharide will not undergo hydrolysis. Okay. No hydrolysis. Now oligosaccharide undergoes hydrolysis to give 2 to 10 units. Okay. Give 2 to 10 unit on hydrolysis. I'm writing in short because I have to accommodate in this space. Okay. Now polysaccharide is nothing but they give more than 10 units on hydrolysis, greater than 10 units on hydrolysis. Okay. Coming to the example of every category, under monosaccharide we have your glucose, we have your fructose ribose, fructose, another one is your ribose, right? Now under oligosaccharide we have the sucrose and maltose, which are the disaccharides, right? Sucrose, okay, maltose, you remember I'm not writing here because I have no space. And under your polysaccharide there is your starch, there is a cellulose. Okay, so this was about the classification of carbohydrates. So I classified carbohydrates mainly according to your 5 categories. First classification was on the basis of your functional group. If aldehyde form is present, then it is called if aldehyde form is present, then it is called polyhydroxyaldehyde. If ketone form is present, then it is called polyhydroxyketone. Okay. Now, second basis of categorization is on the basis of reducing or non-reducing. If carbohydrate is reducing, then we call it reducing sugar. If it is non-reducing, then we call it non-reducing sugar. Under non-reducing sugar, there is sucrose. Under reducing sugar, there is, I have mentioned, fructose, glucose, lactose. Okay, like this. Now, how to find out how which structure is reducing and not, I will tell that later on. Okay, now on the basis of sweetness they are classified into two categories, which is sugar and non-sugar. Okay, here I have mentioned that the word saccharide comes from the Latin word saccharum, which means sugar. Okay, on the basis of number of carbon atoms, the carbohydrates are classified into various classic categories. We consider only two. If there is if there is 3 carbon, it is called triose. If there is 4, then it's called tetrose. If 5, then it is called pentose, right? If a carbohydrate has 4 carbon atoms and a CHO or aldehyde group, then we call it aldopentose. If a carbohydrate have 5 carbon and a ketone group, okay, that is C double bonded O, then we call it as ketohexose, right? So this was about the carbohydrates basic introduction. So keeping this video up to this much, in the next video we will come to the preparation of glucose. We will discuss about the structure of glucose, and we will also cover the commercial methods for preparation of glucose and also the cyclic structure of glucose. Keep studying. All the very best. Thank you.